everyone, how's it going? My name is Richard Moglen, and welcome back to another weekly watch list video brought to you by DeepView. As always, if you want to learn more about the DeepView platform and what it offers, go ahead and click the link popping up right now, as well as the first line in the description. And if you do go ahead and click that link and join the waitlist, we'll be doing a special presentation about what DeepView offers, and they'll only be available to people on that waitlist. So make sure you go ahead and join. With that said, let's dive right in with a few names I'm watching for this upcoming trading week. Now, keep in mind that a lot of stuff fell through last week. In my opinion, the market rally as it was is kind of over, and we're just kind of in wait and see mode at this point. But there are a few names holding up, and this is kind of my wider list for this week, but we won't go through all of these, but we will go through a select few that look the best. First things first, we've got MAXN, a solar name that gapped up strongly up the right-hand side of its institutional due diligence phase. Huge volume coming in, and you can see just putting in inside day Friday and a strong day on this Thursday when everything was really breaking down and coming in. So that's really showing a lot of strength. But unless the market really recovers quickly, this is going to be brought down with everything else. It's really tough to fight the tide, the overall tide of the market. Moving on, we've also got Arlo. Similarly, very strong action, huge move up on large volume, a little bit weaker in terms of where it is within the overall shape of the stock structure. This is more off the bottom, while Maxon is kind of breaking out of a base, but still this is very strong, nice volume coming in as well. A little bit of weakness, of course, on Friday, but everything was pulling in on Friday as well. Squarespace, another recent gap up out of this base. It's been forming through 25, pulling back in on declining volume, not huge, negative bars just yet. Decent closing range on Friday as well. So this is acting, all things considered, pretty darn well, and looks completely normal. And if the market does come off, you'd expect this to rally. And let's also move on to ANET. This had a nice breakout through this cup with handle, and is just pulling back slightly towards this prior pivot. Still acting pretty normal, not huge volume. It is above average volume on Friday, but still within its character. You've got a little bit of a fade here on this day, but well above the 21 EMA, and pretty much any stock at this point above an increasing 21 EMA is showing some form of relative strength, and you want to keep that name on your radar. So if we do see the market restart a new uptrend, those should be some of the first few names that you look to position in. Moving on, we've also got four. A nice upside reversal off the 21 EMA here on Friday. Nice action. You've got some downside reversals on this day and this day, but all things considered, it's holding up pretty well as it tries to move up the right-hand side of this longer-term base that we're currently in. PanW, another name that's acting pretty well. Nice action on Friday. We did have a little bit of weakness here, breaking these lows on Thursday, but we're holding above this 21 EMA. Super strong off these lows, gap up, nice closing range. And I'd expect this to act really strong if the market does relent and restart another move upward. But right now we're kind of in wait and see mode in terms of that. But nevertheless, definitely one to have on your radar. And pretty much lastly, I just want to highlight Duolingo. Super strong off these lows, gap up 22% on large volume. Really nice action, follow through action. And now it's declined a little bit over the past week or so with everything else in the market pretty much. But I'd love to see this kind of form out a base, tighten up, and ideally hold above that increasing 21 EMA. So those are pretty much a few names that I'm watching pretty closely. This is kind of my wider list. There are definitely a few names in the chip space that are still holding up pretty well above those 21 EMAs, but they do have downside reversals. So it's kind of a mixed bag here. And I went through about 400 names to make this list of 25 for my wider list. And most stuff is acting pretty negatively. And we'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens and see if the market can recover. It's definitely kind of a news-based market here. We saw a lot of distribution, clusters of distribution last week, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the overall market. If you haven't watched my stock market outlook video, I go in way more depth in that video, so definitely check that out. But other than that, make sure to leave a like down below if you did enjoy this analysis, and best of luck next week, and I'll see you guys in future videos. Take care.